I'm very grateful to have all you guys supporting me. It was really cool to go back and watch the stream and see you guys hopping in the chat cheering me on. That warmed my heart greatly.
You're very
Nice
cool,
to
Joey.
thanks, man. But no, for real, though, it's nice to have our little community here.
Yeah, shout out 2 Wookiees in the top 8. One in the
Yes,
top
sir.
4 too. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. TJ and I were very hype for
Mm-hmm.
in those last couple of rounds, and then because we both ID'd the last round, we kind of just had to sit in our feelings for a whole round. Really, really killed the energy, but that's okay.
I
I
think Vonreg would have got sweeped though.
There was a lot of force decks there. Like, I mean, at least with my matchups, I faced two different Obi-Wans. I faced a Talzin. Maybe Talzin's a little tough because Condemn Vonreg a little harder than Vader, but
My
you could have gotten some wins.
my matchup
At
in a
least gone even,
Talzin
maybe.
my matchup in Talzin isn't that bad because I main deck for oh, I don't main deck it in this one actually. Normally I main deck for upgrade hate
Right.
specifically for other pilots and for Condemn. So I actually don't hate playing Talzin, but yeah, Condemn is not a fun card to play against. What did your matchups look like?
I should have pulled this up. Um,
Oh wait, I should have pulled this up. What am I talking about?
so I remember most of them. I couldn't remember one of them for the life of me, but round one was Talzin Green, and in my head it seemed tough against any Talzin,
Hmm.
but it ended up being kind of a sweep. I don't remember if I went 2-0 versus that player or not, but I as the matches were going on, I was like, okay, no, he's not drawing his answers, or I'm just going too wide, and it was not too bad.
Yeah.
The current strategy of stack upgrades on your guy, on your leader,
Hmm. Hmm.
makes me really enjoy playing not only just yellow but villainy yellow because I run two Death Space skirmishers, I run three of the lurking snub fighters, and I have the three hold for questioning's main deck. So if they want to throw an upgrade on their guy, I'm just gonna blank your whole turn and not get smacked for 9 or whatever Talzin does with the construct a lightsaber.
Hmm. Oh, that's a good thing. That's what I really like about Villainy Yellow specifically is that it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna let you do that. The whole shtick is like, yeah, you can try, but I'm gonna tap that unit down and let you deal with it.
Yeah, I have this idea of playing like the lawless time Vader with a yellow base, like repeatedly playing Garindin and stuff like that.
It was hand hate, yep.
Yeah, just like hand hate Vader seems kind of cool. I need to figure out like how you get card draw in a deck like that. But with that matchup, if I go double one drop, which I think I did both game or all three games, I don't think he wasn't drawing it or he just wasn't playing like Charged with Treason, because that could be tough if they like if because I think two out of the three games I just slammed Victor Leader on turn two with two units out. I think because he went Gonk Droid pretty much every game,
Hmm.
and I think the game that I lost, he did hit like the MC-30 assault frigate,
Yep.
but even still, like, yeah, he can throw that into one of my guys, but I feel like I'm still just winning the race versus Piet.
Yeah,
He
no.
really needs to get his like sideboarded like eager escort fighters and like a little bit more early interaction. Because so the first game it was kind of a cakewalk, and he stuck a couple of ships, and on the flip turn I wound up with initiative. I had double Garindin in the row because I was thinking, okay, maybe he has some upgrade hate or maybe he has invisible hand. That was the main one I was worried about. So I played the first Garindin, and I saw this was on 6 resources for the deploy. So I saw Red Devastator, Craving Power,
Ooh.
and I I buffed the whole turn because he did have a ship out, and I had deployed Vader onto a 2-1 chip, so it only had 6 health,
Hmm.
and I just did not realize that he had that chip or that he could put the craving power on it because he just I didn't pick the craving power. I called Invisible Hand, I saw the hand, and then I called Red Devastator because I was like, okay, he's gonna pepper the damage on my guys and then like blow me out. But I that wasn't really the case. I should have just taken the craving power because
Hmm.
even if he had played the Devastator, I still had lethal on board. So I buffed that. I kind of gave him that win, and then the preceding 2 games were just I just had too much damage early by the time he was slamming a bigger ship.
Just beating the race against Piet is really the easiest way to sweep him out. Especially if you're playing like really heavy space. Although I wouldn't call your space aggro, but you know what I mean. 3 was against Lando.
It did go to 3 games in that one, I believe. The first game he started with, I think it was some turn 1 space unit,
Mhm.
and then he like flipped the Han Solo onto it and just went to base. I had double 1-drop. I swung the 1 ship, got a TIE fighter, played another 1-drop. Long story short, I blew out that turn with his Han Soloed ship. I forget what his turn 1 ship he swung in with was, but he just basically had no board, and I had all my guys, and at that point it was pretty easy.
Mhm.
I don't remember the middle game that I had lost too much. I think he just had like a good rose and like enough like spies. Like when these Lando decks go multiple faith in your friends and they just stick 4 ground units that are all gonna keep getting damage in, it's tough.
No, it's very tough. I know, especially because you run yellow. So yeah, your only option of interaction with ground is the land speeders that I know you put in sideboard, or Boba Pilot who can ping on the ground.
I do not run Boba Pilot in my deck,
I
but
know, but I'm trying to think of like because that's the only 2 I can think of in those colors
yeah, I
specifically.
saw a different Vader list that was running the Canyon Front Runner as
Mm-hmm.
a turn 1 play, and that seemed kind of cool. That's just like a strong turn 1 play if you have initiative.
Yeah,
And then
I ran it in my Von Reg for a little bit because I thought it was cool.
no, it's a good card. I would definitely want to try some more decks running that for sure.
Round 4, you went into a Obi-Wan 28.
Yeah, that's right. I just kind of played my Vader stuff, and yeah, he wasn't getting his like. I think I might have evil is every word his Obi-Wan in that matchup as well, because he definitely threw a Yoda's lightsaber out there. I may have tapped it down and then killed it the following turn or something like that.
Mhm.
Victor Leader, or not Victor Leader, Blue Leader just is not the counter to Vader anymore. It
No,
used to be very scary to get blue leadered, especially when you would go double 1-drop into like Sanctuary Shuttle. They'd ambush in your Sanctuary Shuttle and get their thing back, and they have a blue leader that's still alive. But with the Black Sun Patroller and the Sheathapede and just having multiple turn 1 plays,
Mhm.
honestly, I'm almost happy if they go blue leader and they don't like go like Maz Kanata into like something else and give a token and like try to race.
Crazy thing about all the space changes that they made with the rotation. The Blue Leader used to be like super devastating because it was basically like it wasn't even a trade. It was just a free kill something. But now you have Black Sun Patroller where you basically just ambush into it to get 2 damage onto your Blue Leader. For you, I think even because you're running 2 1-drops, it just doesn't really affect you. Like, oh
Yeah,
no, I lost one of the 1-drops. I swing in with the other one, make a TIE fighter token, play another unit. Now I have 2 or 3 more units on board. You went from absolutely destroying that poor Obi-Wan player into the Padme game that was on stream.
yeah. Still haven't watched it. I watched the finals back, but I
Mhm.
did not go back and watch that game.
You played it as well as you could have. He had the nuts, man. I don't think there was much you could have done against that one.
Yeah. Because the biggest problem with that matchup is he just kind of plays his deck and kills my guys for free.
Hmm.
Like every play he had did a disclose or like it was just tough.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I think I put in the when it had me when he did the one play with the Marin and that's a rock and the Padme ping. and literally just cleared board.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. Every card he played just naturally were killing my guys. Like
Mm-hmm.
in that first game, he opened like a couple of space units on top of that. Like he had the red 5
Mm-hmm.
or red 3, red 5. Yeah, gets the ping damage, and then I don't want to trade into that thing. And because he pretty much always has initiative, it was just tough.
No,
Not sure how to play that one.
yeah, no, playing into a leader that just kind of naturally counters you is awful. And then you went straight from that game into a Qui-Gon game, which
Yeah, that was the greatest layup to make top 8 I could have gotten. I felt real bad about the matchup because he's got like Jin Urso, I guess, to tap guys down. He's got Beguile, I think.
Mhm.
I don't remember if he was running or not, but he even like game 2 he sideboarded in some eager escort fighters and I think another blue ace or something, and it just neither game were very close.
For what I've seen with
I,
Qui-Gon, it's just kind of like you play all the
I
heaters from Lando and you just play them worse.
Yeah, yes and no. I haven't. I do enjoy Obi-Wan. I mean, Qui-Gon, and
Mhm.
I think this Friday I'm gonna put my Qui-Gon back together because it's just a very interesting deck to play. Like, you take really weird lines and you do the bounce thing, and I think my favorite card in that deck is actually Ahsoka, because a line I like to take on 5 resources is to like play like a Queen Amidala, bounce it to play the Ahsoka.
Mhm.
Just recycling Ahsoka to get the card advantage down feels really good.
I love Qui-Gon. I've never been able to make him work, so I don't have very many comments on him.
It's just very janky, but
Jake
it's
Tech.
fun. I like it.
And then round 7, you said you DI'd? Yep.
Yep, yep, yep. I was able to take the ID. It's a whole thing with that where you're not supposed to like look around. You can't say anything to your opponent other than "Would you like to ID?" And I am very glad that he was receptive to it because he was on Boba Lake Country, and I know that's a matchup I can do well in. If he doesn't open space, if his opening's like BT1 into 000,
Mhm.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm gonna be playing my Victor leader and just smacking you for a whole bunch of damage.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
Or like sticking a clone combat squadron against that deck is pretty brutal.
Hmm. Because as long as because you can it can basically eat all the indirect for you, right?
It can, but I mean, a lot of times it's pretty easy to just take it to base and race them.
That's fair.
I
That's
haven't
fair.
played the matchup too many times, but a friend of mine who also went to the tournament was on Boba Lake Country, and we had a couple of games on Carabas. I wish I could play more. I haven't done too many different matchups, but I at least know how to play my deck, and that's how I got there. So
I was gonna say you're like I haven't really played many matchups. I'm like Joey. I'm looking at a top 4 right now, man. I don't know how true that is. And then quarterfinals, you went
so
up against a
before
normal Obi.
before we got to top 8, I was talking with Jack about like what is going to be in top 8, what the potential matchups are, and hearing that that guy Carlos Apicata was in the top 8 with his Obi-Wan deck, I was like, man, if I just get him, I'm cooking, easy peasy. Like, no
Seriously.
offense, props to him. He's obviously a skilled player. He goes to all these tournaments. He's on like the team or whatever. But I what made me feel even better was, we shared deck lists, and I was like, this man has no tree remembers, zero,
What? You didn't play any True Remembers?
no, none.
Oh.
His space interactions were just Victor Leader basically, and then obviously they run Protect the Pod and
Ghost?
Shatterpoint, but
Shatterpoint.
and like he. So game 1, we took we shuffled up, we shared deck lists. He took a mulligan, looked at his second hand, and looked at me and said, "All right, go game 2." He said, "I don't have a turn 1 play, and I'd rather just move on to the next one and go sideboard." And I was like, "All right, cool."
Flipping
He
no
did,
turn 1, youch.
yeah. He did get the second game. He was able to just I wasn't getting my tap down guys. Oh, you know what really blew me out was on the flip turn. I did have the Chancellor Yeah, the Palpatine, because he had a pretty stacked board of guys, and then he hit me with the Galen Urso and chose spies. So all the spies
Oh.
lost Sentinel, and at that point, I just didn't have the action economy to get the rest of the lethal because he played that. He swings with his big old Obi-Wan that had like a lightsaber or something on it,
Mhm.
and then I needed like one more action to get there, so that one was tough.
Yeah,
But
I didn't even think about that as an idea.
yeah, no, he was being tricksy with his Galen. That's what these really good players are doing with this Galen is they just know the right things to call.
Mhm.
He tried it in the last game. I think he had called Clone Combat Squadron. Maybe he didn't have like a Shatterpoint in hand or something, and that's what he was afraid of. But I don't think I would have played that into him anyway because I know that could get blown out. But it was a similar in that game 3. It was similar to my game with against Orlando. I had a huge space board. He had stuck constructed lightsaber and heirloom lightsaber on his Obi-Wan, and before he got to swing it a second time, I was at like 20 damage on my base. I hit him with the evil is everywhere and just got him out of there.
Evil is everywhere coming in clutch again. Wow.
Well, so people run craving power instead of that card. Now, I don't see evil is everywhere in any list at all, but I'm telling you, craving power in the games that blew them out, that I needed it, or
Mhm.
I'm sorry, evil is everywhere. It did things that craving power wouldn't have done. His Obi-Wan had like 11 health.
Yeah.
Craving power, a Vader, maybe a Vader on a clone combat squadron or like a clone combat squadron with a bunch of guys already, sure, craving power could get there, but I
It's
don't
way
know.
easier to just
It
have
was
5 villainous pips to play that Evil's everywhere.
well, yeah, and
Awesome.
that was what got me the win with the Lando earlier was he stacked a pilot on a ship on like a 2 or a 3 cost ship, and I just killed it on I think it was on 4 resources. I evil is everywhere, stuck another unit, and then it was pretty much over from there.
So, yeah, no, I mean it's a great I mean I think who was it? Lupe in the commentary of your final game was like, and Sudi B just got hit with 100 searches of Evil is
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like, yeah, no, really put that card on the map, making it do its work. That was incredible.
I can't think of another deck that can run it, but certainly Invader, it was doing very good things for me. Playing it at the shop too.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing against Scott, and he's on his what is it, Java Green that he
Yep.
plays,
Jabba Green Force.
and don't know if he was having him in the main deck or if he sided him in against me, but he played that 2/7 Space Whale while his Java was out,
Mm-hmm.
and he just wasn't interacting with my board at all. I had plenty of units in practice, how it worked out, but in my head when I was making the deck, if you look at my list, I have my Beguiles in the sideboard because I swapped them out for the evils is everywhere
Mm-hmm.
because in my head I'd rather just delete the unit than bounce it. Going into the flip turn, I want to do plot stuff or like maybe a hold for questioning plus plot stuff. I just felt want evil is everywhere more than I'd want the Beguiles.
Mm-hmm.
I put the Beguiles in the side because I was afraid of coming against decks with legacy run.
You blow it up and Thrawn's just like, yeah, here, take a quick 12 damage for me. It's like, what?
Yeah, so Beguiles were in the side.
And then for
And
the
there we go.
unfortunate heartbreaker in semifinal.
Couple of things I would want to say about that, and to the commentators talk about it. I feel dumb for not thinking about this line, but they had mentioned keeping Garinden in hand to do like hold for questioning and Garinden to get like a double discard.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to that game 3, that's definitely something I wish I could have done. I also wish I talked about this before. I had the ground unit to eat up the spies.
Mm-hmm.
Taking those free trades made more sense, but my reasoning was because I had the clone combat squadron that I was going to slam, knowing he only ran, I guess, 2 cards that could get rid of it, which were the Beguile and the, what is that called? It's like the 4-cost force card that bounces something, Will of the Force or
Oh,
something
Will of the
like that.
Force, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, all right, he's not going to have an answer to this. Let me just aggro this out, get all the damage I can, and try to win this race.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went for that hold for questioning in the following turn, I took a long time on the stream when I was deciding to discard there. And I don't think the commentators saw all the cards that were in there, but he had watched this. he had the the Liberty,
Hmm.
he had Commandeer, he had, and this is the card that I took, the freaking one of Beguile in his deck. And so I think he had some other stuff he could have played too, or if he underdropped, he could have made the credit token that he was missing, or that I forget what it was exactly, but I was like, okay, all of these cards suck. This he's got answers for everything, but if I take the Beguile, he at least has to use all of his resources to do the Commandeer. If I take the Commandeer, then he just plays the Beguile, gets the same effect done, and then it's all ogre anyway.
Hmm.
So that was my thought process there. That's why I didn't trade in the spies. That's why I didn't take the Commandeer. And yeah, it's just unfortunate to two faith in your friends to get like 6 cards in hand, and every card in hand being an answer for the following turns. It was just tough.
No, it's very tough. I think you, like I said, I think you played it as well as you could have. Hmm.
Like I said, keeping the Garindin in hand was a line that I just wasn't thinking of.
Hmm.
And like I said, this is the best I had done in any tournament. So going that deep, obviously people get better and better, and there really is that like fatigue of playing that many games, and like just it gets hard going that deep.
Well,
It
yeah,
really does. Props to people who regularly make top eights.
because like the commentators were saying, first game he had it. Second game he didn't even put up a fight. I was watching second game. I was like, "Jeez, Joey, give him a breather," because you flipped everything on him. You had it all. Just absolutely pumped him.
Well,
I think
so,
he did like 10 damage on base, maybe.
so he had admitted that he kind of kept a greedy hand because his follow up turn was to Han Solo on that ship on the front runner,
Hmm.
and then after removing it, it just wasn't a play for him anymore because I think he would on that turn too. He wanted a Han Solo make a credit and then play his Rose. I mean, he had the deck list. He could have known that I had it. I don't know. Felt
No,
good though.
because
Yeah, and then the commentators trashing me for just playing the 1/1 drop. Two things. I did not have a second 1 drop, but even if I did, I needed initiative because I knew if he played that front runner, I needed to kill it.
no, I
And
understand completely. It made perfect sense
I
knowing what you had in hand. It wasn't Lupe. I think it was a Jeff, the other guy, who goes, if he has the land speeder in hand, that's just free. And then right as they're done talking, you finish your resourcing and you play the land speeder right into the
oh
front
no, that was
runner. I was like,
fastest
oh.
resource ever. I was ready for it. Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's got it. Oh, Joey's gonna win this one.
And just hearing those guys talk about Woodstock Wookiees on that stream was just like it just felt good.
The cherry on
We're
top, I
on the map.
know. That's exactly what my pop said when we were watching. It was like Joey is gonna take this home, and then immediately after the announcer started talking, he's like, "Oh, the Woodstock Wookiees are on the map now too." Like Joey just put us
Yeah.
on the map.
Yeah.
It's awesome seeing someone that like I've played against to go up into a PQ in top four.
Yeah. No, TJ did really good.
Hmm.
What was he like? He was either first or second going into top 8, so
He was first
he killed
seed.
it.
He was first seed going in a top four.
Like kind of under the weather during that whole thing on top of that. Best performance at a PQ, and I did it while kind of had a little bit of a cold, so it felt like Michael Jordan a little bit. But I think that's my favorite thing is, finishing around and regrouping with your homies and you
Hmm.
know giving them the fist bump for when they win, being like, oh, you lost that one, that's okay. Time to submarine.
Yeah, no, I
Nice to have the homies.
anything else you wanted to share about the PQ? I already asked that, but in case anything else came to mind while we were talking.
No, I don't think so. I do have to admit I probably was pretty lucky with the matchups that I got. I didn't run into the Deidras or the Aura Sings. I don't know what the percentages of them were at the tournament, but I think those were definitely my biggest worries. I'm pretty sure Deidre's a pretty hard auto loss.
But
Yeah.
is there anything else that you're super worried about?
I don't think so. Like I said, feel like it's a toolbox deck.
Hmm.
It's got the answers. Biggest shout out to Justin, always
Yes,
coming out
Justin.
always coming out to all these tournaments with me, and we get together on Thursdays, and after we get through Magic with everybody, we jam some Star Wars games, and always, talking to each other about the game, and like I said, he's always coming out to these tournaments with me, and and he was there, sitting next to me for the whole finals as well. So it was nice to have his support.
Why'd you pick Vader?
So I think I don't really know. At some point at the shop, I just put it together and started playing it. This was like maybe like 2 months ago, probably.
So
That I
pre-rotation.
like really sleeved it up and started to play it. And I don't know, something just clicked in my head one day, and I just started playing it. I always liked the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Playing at Jump to Lightspeed PQ when I was on Sabine ECL, it was a deck that I kind of feared
Mm-hmm.
because back then they had the double one drop into um, Sanction Shuttle play, or you know they just have a lot of damage on board. They were Vaders were playing OB then, and so it was a deck that I just always really liked, and just there's something satisfying about just having a butt ton of units on the board. Like, I think I am a player who likes a swarm strategy. I played 40K for a little bit, and the army I picked would run
Tyranids.
like well, Tyranids too, but no, I would play I played Death Guard, where they have these guys called Poxwalkers, where you run a list
Mm-hmm.
with like 90 of them.
You made
Yeah,
Poxwalker Vader, where you just create infinite TIE Fighter tokens.
like you got to give it up for the original trilogy, but like the prequels are objectively bad movies, but god damn it, I do love them so much.